Well, I'm out at Jan McNeelan's, and so Jan, it's getting to be the end of October, so what's going on in this greenhouse here?
Well, it needs to be cleaned up, but I
It's a
brought
good time
a
of year.
whole lot of things in from outside so I can clean them up in preparation for taking many of them in the house under the grow lights for the winter.
That is true.
But I had some lettuce growing in this planter, and then it was all done, and then I found a handful of onion sets that I hadn't planted in a vegetable garden.
That happens
and so
sometimes.
I just thought, well, shoot, I'll put them in here and see what happens, and it looks like we're going to have some green onions.
And that's kind of nice to have some fresh things in your greenhouse for the winter
Finish it up. And I don't do that very much. I need to think about what else I could be doing in the greenhouse at the end of the season.
It's a nice space to have. You're
Right.
lucky to have it. And so what about houseplants? Because it is that time to bring them in.
Well, it's time to bring them in, and this is a gardenia that's been out in the cold frame all summer.
Looks
And I'm
nice.
going to take any kind of debris that's in here, some fir needles and
Clean it up.
say leaves, clean it up. I'm going to probably prune it some.
Okay.
And then take it in, fertilize it, and put it under the grow lights, and it'll give me some winter bloom.
And do you want to look for insects, or do you want to wash
Yeah,
them or spray
Take
them?
a look. If you've got anything, then you don't want to bring it in to spread to your other houseplants as well. So you can hose them off if you want to, but I just do some examination and see if there's anything. And as far as I know, there's nothing on these.
That
But
is a
you want to
good
make
idea.
sure you're not bringing slugs in or anything like that.
Right.
And this is a streptocarpus that just needs to be cleaned up, and
It even has a little bit
Yeah.
color there, so it's kind
Yeah.
of nice that
some of the old flower stalks off of it.
take it off.
And I could do some propagation here and do some dividing and then put it under the lights for the winter.
That is nice. And do we have to have certain kind of lights? Can you just use regular light bulbs, or should you get the grow
No,
lights?
you need the grow lights
Okay.
for the full spectrum so that they're getting everything that they need.
And then they're a little bit more healthy.
Yeah, those cheap shop lights work really well. You just get a grow light to go in them
Definitely.
and it works really well.
That is good. And I'm noticing you have a begonia in here too. Did it stay in all summer?
No, it's been outside, and
It's looking
just
really
been-
great for this
yeah,
late of
it's
year.
great. It's been the best plant I've ever had. I just bought it in a pot and put it in this clay pot, and it's just bloomed its little head off all summer long.
That's nice. And really, this is late for a begonia to be going,
is.
so it's really nice that it's still going.
It's been a good one.
Well, I think we should go out in the garden and see what's happening out there.
There's more to see.
All right.
All right.
Now, Jan, I see that you have your Christmas cactus still outside, so why isn't it inside yet?
The longer and the cooler it stays, then it won't pop and bloom. And I know that there's Christmas cactus, Thanksgiving cactus.
Right.
This is going to be a Halloween cactus because
how innovative.
as soon as I bring it in, it's going to pop. So I've just left it out here as long as I can. It hasn't been that cold yet.
Yeah, well, it's gorgeous. And
Yeah.
then I see you got tomatoes in your hand, so really tomatoes now.
Yeah, I still have the chocolate cherry tomato that's on the grafted plant, the grafted rootstock. And it's huge. It's
Look how long that
Yeah,
is.
look at that.
Wow.
And
that's a
so
lot.
I could cut this at the top here, but I'm just going to let it go and see how far it goes and how long it goes.
Yeah, why not?
Yep.
And then we have to talk about the ash whitefly. We've gotten a lot of questions. Everybody's got questions about it. So what are you hearing from OSU?
Well, I haven't had very many in our yard, but I've seen them, but I've also been in clouds of them in the Fred Meyer parking lot.
Sure.
And what we're seeing right now is that the adults are beginning to overwinter on evergreen shrubs, and they're coming off of the deciduous shrubs, and those are the ones they feed on. Whether or not they're really doing any major damage, the jury's still out on that. At this point, we're saying not to spray.
Okay.
There is a parasitic wasp that can be released
Great.
by the Department of Ag when they get to that point. Right now it's just being monitored, but it is something that's been very successful in other places where within a year to two they're gone.
Ah, well, great hope.
So yes, and
That
so
is
the
great.
main plants that they're on are Oregon ash, ornamental pear, hawthorn, and flowering quince.
Ah.
And then there's some other ones they're on, but they're only on deciduous plants for that much, and you're going to lose the leaves anyway. So sweep up the leaves that fall, and we'll see what next year brings.
Yeah, so don't get so worried about it. It's really being monitored. Go to OSU website. There's bulletins to look at. You can go to gardentime.tv and we'll click you over there. So you heard it from Jan, so we'll see what's going on with it next year too. So
Okay.
thanks so much for all the
right.
information.
You're welcome.